My next guest takes on UFC newcomer Randy Brown at UFC on Fox 18 on January 30th. Matt Dwyer joins me here on the program for the very first time. Matt, how are you?
Not bad, buddy. How are you?
Hey, fantastic, man. And right off the bat, I got to ask, how was your holiday season? How was your New Year's Eve? Did you get up to anything?
Man, I just trained. I didn't really take any time off. Kind of had a Christmas lunch. Caught the new Star Wars movie. It was okay. Hung out with the family, but yeah, I just kept as busy as I could, man. Went to bed early on New Year's Eve. Didn't worry about the countdown, and yeah, man, I'm ready for business. That's it.
Good stuff. I like it. Did you get any cool presents for Christmas?
I mean, just being with family and stuff. Got a couple cool stocking stuffers, But that was about it. But that was cool, man. I don't really need anything. It's all about hanging out with family now, right?
Absolutely. Well, I want to talk about your last fight, the fight with Alan Jabouin. Just a fantastic performance. I know things didn't go your way, but you always learn more from a loss than a win. What did you learn the most from that fight?
Uh, you know, uh, uh, Basically that I belong here, right, in the UFC, that I can hang with these guys, some of the best fighters in the world. I will say one thing, going into that fight, not taking anything away from Joban, would never take away anything from any of my opponents. But I was anemic going into that fight, so yeah, I'd very low iron. My iron levels were really low, and I wasn't really taking it too serious. Like, I was a bit of a zombie, and I was just kind of taking iron pills here and there, and didn't realize how serious it was. But yeah, my cardio and everything was just off, and I was tired. I knew going into that fight that I was gonna get tired, and but after, like, I been visiting my doctor often and making sure I got those iron levels back up, and got the hemoglobin levels back up, and man, I'm ready to rock. I feel a lot better, and really fresh and ready to go, man. Everything's right where it needs to be.
Awesome. Well, it certainly didn't look like it in the fight. I mean, you guys won Fight of the Night honors, and I got to ask, what did you spend the bonus money on? Because that was what, 50 G's. That's not a bad way to head into the fall.
Yeah, no, I saved it. Like, my main thing was to be ready for taxes.
Yes, of course.
It's,
Yeah.
don't want to owe money to those guys, right? And I made a hefty investment into a startup company, and we'll see where that takes, what happens there, and I got a good feeling about it, and yeah, man, just pretty much getting ready for my future is all. But yeah, I can afford to train full time, which is really nice. And yeah, that's all I've been doing, man. Just getting ready for the next one coming up here soon. And I'm really looking forward to putting on another great show.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that in 1 second. There's one more question I have for you, kind of on the last fight. What was the reception like after that fight? I know you lost, but it was a great fight. People really enjoyed it. You must have got a lot of really good feedback, just from fans and also friends and family.
Yeah, no, everybody thought it was a great fight. It was an exciting fight for sure. I felt like I could have done better, but I can't complain. Coming up with fight of the night honors, it was an honor to have such a great showing with a guy like Joban, and like I said before, it just kind of reassured me that I can trust myself, I can trust my training, and what I'm doing was good. That I can fight these guys at the highest level. It feels amazing. So I'm just ready to get back in there. I'm itching to get back. I haven't fought since July, and we would have liked to get a fight sooner, but they were all booked up until about now. Actually, I was originally set to fight Erik Silva in March 5th in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But
Interesting.
they switched it up on me. They switched it up on me to fight January 30th against Randy Brown here, and whatever, we'll take it. It's sooner, which is nice, and it turns out it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because that whole card got canceled, I think, from what I understand. So yeah, everything's working out for the better, as it
Very
seems.
interesting. I was going to say, very interesting tidbit there. And let's talk about your opponent, Randy Brown. He was featured on that program, Looking for a Fight, the Dana White program, where he seeks out new talent. Of course, everyone remembers Sage Northcutt from that. Have you seen much tape on him? He's a Ring of Combat veteran. How do you think you match up against him?
Yeah, I know. I watched a couple of his fights. He's finished all of his opponents. I was looking at his record on Sherdog. And the guy that he beat to get into the UFC was a one win, one loss kind of guy. So we at first we thought it was kind of easy. He hasn't fought any kind of big name guys, right, to get into the UFC. So we're kind of like, whatever, we'll take it. And then I guess this is how he got in, is through the show. And that being said, I'm not taking this guy lightly, right?
Right.
I'm not taking anybody light. I would never take any of my opponents lightly. But that being said, if judging by the competition that he's been up against and the competition I've been up against, my last 5 fights against the guys that he's fought for his last 5 fights, it's a big gap there. It's kind of like comparing NHL to midget league, right? Like the guys that
Yeah.
he's fought compared to the guys that I've fought. So I'm going to be bringing a different element to the table, something he hasn't seen before. That being said, like I'm not taking this guy lightly at all, but he's he's in for a good night or a good fight that night.
Does it add more excitement to the matchup with the fact that he's undefeated? You could be the first guy to hand him his first career loss.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, um, like I said, like he's never fought anyone like me before. I can honestly say that by judging by his fights. I'm gonna be able to reach out and hit him back, and I'm not rolling over for anybody, right? And yeah, by the end of the first round, he's gonna know I mean business. And I hit him once, he's gonna know I mean business. And Rude Boy's in for a rude awakening. So
I love it.
bringing it.
Now, some people might say that you're kind of been brought in to lose here because, obviously Dana White's not going to go find a guy, bring him in, and expect him to lose. I mean, that wouldn't look good. The TV production side of things would be awful. Does that bother you at all?
No, no. I mean, I get it. Obviously they're probably hoping to see me on the losing end, but like I said, man, you can't underestimate anybody, and it would be a big mistake to underestimate me. Like I said, I'm ready, man. Like I'm bringing it. Like by the end of the first round, if it even goes that far, he's gonna know that he's in over his head. Anywhere the fight takes place, like I'm gonna be in his face. I'm gonna be ready to go. Rock and roll fight night. It's gonna be good.
Good stuff. Now, you're still training at Toshido MMA, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. And who are some of the people helping you get ready? I know Shane Campbell's down there, right? He's got a fight coming up against Kraus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. February 21st in Pittsburgh.
Nice. So it must be nice having a guy like him also getting ready for a fight coming up soon.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other people you're working with ahead of this fight with Randy Brown?
We got another taller training partner we brought up from Vancouver. He's actually trained with us before. Our buddy Darcy. Really, he's a tall, lanky, scrappy dude. He's been in Thailand. Really good with his reach too. Excuse me. Training with Shane a bunch. He's K1 kickboxer. Better keep my hands up with that guy, as well as the jiu-jitsu guys are wall working. Like I'm gonna be ready for anywhere this fight takes place. It's gonna be a good night for me. I can feel it.
Awesome. And you're a big welterweight, 6'4". I mean, that's not a usual stature you see for that division. Is it tough to make 170 for you?
No, actually, last couple of times I've only had to sweat out like 5 pounds. My last 5 fights actually, I've only had to sweat out 5 pounds. I got it down now. I've been fighting for a while, and the height and reach advantage is great. So I don't want to lose that. So I got it down to a science where I've never been on the IV drip before either.
Oh,
A
nice.
lot of these guys that fight at lighter weight classes, they go on the IV drip and then the balloon back up. I've never used that before either, so and that gives me kind of an edge against guys that are used to that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, simple question for you. How does this fight end on January 30th?
It's hard to say. I mean, he's a tough kid. I'm ready to bring it. It could easily go 3 rounds. It could be a nitty gritty grinding battle, or I catch him with a hard right hand. I finish him in the second round. Either way, I'm coming for the W. It's going to be mine. I'm going to win this fight. I know it.
Good stuff. I love it. All right. I got 2 more questions for you. First question. Matt Dwyer in his downtime, what do you like doing to kind of break up the monotony of training and competing and things like that?
Man, I want to go snowboarding so bad.
Nice.
The big white in Kelowna here has been just getting dumped on with snow, and I'd love to go snowboarding. So after January 30th, I'm definitely going to be making some time to go hit the slopes, go snowboarding. During the fall, I like to dirt bike. In Kelowna, we get all seasons, right? So we get spring, summer, fall. So fall, spring, dirt biking, snowboarding, snowmobiling, summertime, boating, got all the lakes and mountains and stuff. So I just like to stay active, get outdoors. But after this fight, I would really like to take another fight like right away. Like no more breaks, man. I want to get right back in there, and I want to take a couple fights before the summer comes, and then more then.
Absolutely. How many times would you like to fight this year?
At least 4 times. Like I would like to fight 3 times before the summer, even 4 times. I would like to fight January 30th, and if I can get another fight March, or even just at the end of February, March, April, May, June. Like like as long as I'm healthy and my body's holding up, I can come out of these fights, fairly able to fight again.
Yeah.
Pull off a Donald Cerrone.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. Neil Magny styles. Yeah, I want to
Exactly.
stay as busy as I can. No more breaks for this guy. I'm ready for it.
Good stuff. Now, my last question for you here. You didn't think I was gonna, get through this interview without talking about the Canucks. You and I both. I'm a fellow West Coaster like you. Obviously, I'm living out here in Toronto now. But what are your thoughts? I mean, the team's not doing too well this year. It looks like they might be in for like a full rebuild. Have you been watching any of the games? Have you been able to catch it all?
Man, I've been watching more NFL than anything, but NHL. Like I think like when the Canucks made it to the final game for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And then after that season, after they lost, and then the management, they fired everybody. They got rid of a lot of good players, and they got rid of the head coach, who's now that same head coach,
Vigneault.
Alain Vigneault.
Alain Vigneault, yeah.
He's doing awesome with the next team he's working with. They should have just it wasn't broke, so why fix it, right? They just scrapped everybody. They were doing a great job, and they just decided to fire everybody and rebuild. But I think that's where that was it. They messed up a long time ago, and they're still trying to fix that mistake by letting go of all those key players. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But
sorry to interrupt there. You mentioned NFL. I'm assuming you're a Seahawks guy.
actually, no. Ever since high school, I've always liked the Patriots.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good. Well, they're looking like the favorites this year to repeat. So
I've always liked watching the Patriots. I've always liked them. Always been a fan of the Patriots. And then last year was when they pulled off that win last year. It was pretty awesome. My roommate is a Seahawks fan, and we would have had to listen to him be the best Seahawks fan in the world. So we're really glad, we're stoked to see the Patriots win. But now that I'm actually playing NFL draft pick right now, I'm getting into that, and right now I picked a lot of players from the Seahawks, so I'm actually hoping that they do well against Minnesota coming up here and win me some money.
Good stuff. Well, we're certainly looking forward to watching you fight January 30th, UFC on Fox 18. Thanks again, Matt, for joining me here on the program. Just remind my audience where they can get a hold of you on social media and give any thank yous or shout outs. The floor is yours.
Thanks again for having me, James. You can get a hold of me on Facebook. Instagram is I'm fighter_Matt. Twitter is Matt Dwyer MMA. Just look me up there, and ready to go, man. Ready to rock and roll. Tune in January 30th. It's going to be a good night. I always put on.